Welcome to anybody out there watching. It's your boy Luge V, and this is season 3, episode 9 of Loose Cannons. Um, yeah, I'll wait to talk about what we were talking about this week. So I introduced, my good friend, my co-host, King of the Comics.
King of the Comics! Yo, what up, Brody?
How you feeling, E?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. Today I get to do what I love doing best, which is just going toe to toe with you. Looking forward to it.
I mean, I think it's gonna be a good match. It's gonna be a fun one. I don't think we've done a match like this one just yet. So
it's been a minute. It's been a good minute. It's been a good minute.
Yeah, but before we get too far into it, let's introduce our guest this week. Can you call him a guest?
Nah.
This Mr. Yellow Belly Energy.
What it is. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like I use it better than the original music. I ain't gonna lie to you.
There's a reason that costs money. I'll figure something. I'll pick a better intro track out for you. But yeah, that was hopefully that we're still on the air and not muted. We
right.
Got around that. We'll see.
It's live, so we should be fine.
You should be fine. You never know.
Yeah, but the man behind everything, Mr. Kid No Sin, how you feeling, man?
Here we go.
All right.
Good, great, Excelsior.
Thumbs say it better. Thumbs are better. And Kid No Sin is coming fresh off his win over Charlie, aka Yellow Belly Energy from last week. They
It's I was robbed. It's cool. The refs suck. It's cool. It's what it is.
Fair.
The judgment was not left to you.
Yeah, that judge was like, "Fuck me." I'm like, "All right, cool. I'll take it. It's what it is."
I mean, that wasn't verbatim. It was close to what she said, but it's not verbatim.
I mean, Sherman is the Hokage hitting the ladder, so it's fine. It is what it is. I'm not tripping.
Oh boy. So, Brother Otis, what we got on the ballot for this week?
First things first. Let's talk about the new content this week. Marvel's What If.
Right on.
Let's talk about Charlie. What do you think of Marvel?
So y'all already know how I feel about Cap. So fuck Cap. Which is great because I got somebody I like a lot better actually in Peggy Carter. I always enjoyed her like the original movie. I liked her a lot better, and I even watched like the Agent Carter series that I thought it wasn't the best, but it was pretty good. I enjoyed her in it. I thought it was really cool to see a strong, powerful woman like kind of do her thing. It was cool. I really enjoyed like the switch up and the dynamic with her and Steve because it was really the one thing I will give Steve Rogers is that even when he didn't have powers, he was still a good ass dude when he was still little as hell. Like I liked him better as a character when he didn't have powers versus when he did have powers. I like that whole dynamic. It was really cool. And the animation was solid. It was really solid animation for what it was. What up, Rain? Or Mystique, I'm sorry. I'll address you by your proper name.
Mystique, right.
Yeah.
her Christian name. All right, yeah.
Your Christian name.
I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult.
I don't either, and I said it.
What does that mean? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, all that to say, yeah, it was cool. I enjoyed it a lot. It was dope. I feel like they did their best bootleg Hellboy impression with that, but it was still cool.
Yeah. No, I respect you.
What about you, Shemaya? I knew you had some less than positive thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Real quick
See,
though, is your fucking room haunted, my boy? What is going on back there? What is
Yeah,
that?
those lights. What is
Yeah.
what is happening?
Again? You haunted us again. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Whoa,
What is going
The
on?
ladder will protect him.
All right,
The
The ladder will protect him.
The ladder will
There's no
protect.
snakes in there.
Nah, just ghosts.
so I didn't really care for it because as soon as I saw the trailer for it, I felt like, okay, maybe they're going to throw in something different. And they threw in one good curveball for me, and that was spoilers. No spoilers.
Um,
So no spoilers.
want to do spoilers?
Hey,
Yeah, spoilers. Spoiler warning. Yeah, spoilers.
all right. Well, how little Cap helped out his upgrade. That was the only big surprise for me. But besides that, everything else was really predictable. And that took the fun out of it for me. And now I'm worried about the whole rest of like every other episode being the same thing. Like, wow, saw that coming the entire time.
I mean, what did like considering the characters, considering how similar Cap's and Peggy's moralities are, you know, like how they conduct themselves within the military or as people. Like, did you see her doing much different than what Cap would have done?
Oh, she was a lot different. It's her with superpowers compared to Cap with superpowers. I feel like giving powers to somebody who actually knows how to use them really helped her already be at the Captain America we know's level like that. And she has no
She was
problem
definitely
cutting down
scared.
for people.
She had hands, my boy. She was out
Yeah,
like
man,
piecing
she was
people out.
awesome.
I was like,
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, she ended the war like much faster than Cap. Cap was put on Cap was a propaganda popsicle for like for like a while, and Peggy forgot all that stuff. Also, what I liked about it too was that it showed when in the original movie, the first Avenger, when Chris Evans running around throwing on his shield, somehow knows how to use it. It feels like they cut a montage out showing him training and knowing how to learn how to use that. But in this half-hour show, it shows her working out and training with weights, and she's throwing them like the same way that she would throw the shield. So it's kind of they're connecting some tissue there that they didn't do in the movie, which I appreciated. Another thing that I appreciate is Rain. So since Rain is here, hello Rain. We of course got to give her proper love as we always do. 1 second here. Where's my girls at? Here she is. Sorry, we had to get around copyright infringement. I had changed the music up, but it's still.
I mean, that sounded intense. Like it sounded like all
I was
right.
scared. I'm like, what's coming? Huh?
It was filmed in Sherman's room, so it's all kind of hard to do. But no, but all that to say, I too liked it. I know what Sherman is saying, that some parts were predictable, and oftentimes, like in the What If comics, it's a slight variance. It isn't. Sometimes they are more drastic than others. One thing does change things severely. Sometimes it's not that much. The things I liked about it too that weren't as big were smaller details where you got to see Bucky in this world, because we're so used to seeing Sebastian Stan in post Captain America movies where he's very much dealing with severe PTSD and all kinds of trauma that he has, and he's no longer, his personality is very much like is damaged. And this Sebastian Stan, this actual Bucky was telling all kinds of jokes, being kind of life of the party in a way that he would have been how different his life would have been if we had guys had to see that essentially. So yeah, I enjoyed seeing that detail. I enjoyed that at the end, again, getting into spoiler territory, how they actually fought a Hydra. There actually was a monstrous Hydra they battled against instead of fighting against Red Skull. Red Skull got crushed by it, and the rest of them had to fight against it. So it's kind of a different variant there too that I enjoyed.
Question, is that like the similar beast to the one? I know I made the Hellboy joke, but like, isn't wasn't that Hellboy one based on like Norse mythology as well?
No. So I don't know. I know this character is what's the name? Ashura or Shima. It's a character from the Marvel MCU.
Shima Gorath?
Yeah.
Was that Shuma Gorath? That wasn't Shuma Gorath, was it?
Yes, I think it
Gorath is
was.
supposed to be the villain in Doctor Strange, I thought.
Yes, it's the same one. He actually
She-
will still show up in Doctor Strange, I think.
So she
too.
smoked Shuma Gorath like one-on-one single hand. That's
I mean, she didn't smoke him. She pushed him back.
No, I don't think he's even dead. We don't even know he's dead necessarily.
okay. They depowered the
No,
fuck out of
I
him
saw-
if she can do that herself.
I saw some
Yeah.
tentacles lying around when she was
Yeah,
hurt.
Yeah, but you know how they grow back too. That's part
but she
of.
walked out though. Like she kind of like walked out.
Yeah,
No,
well,
yeah.
so I'm not
That's
entirely
what she
sure.
just landed on the other side.
Right.
Like she just like popped out. She didn't like exit out fast. I can't talk right now. She didn't exit there willingly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't think she would have picked 70 years in the future.
Did they
No.
officially say it was Shuma Gorath though?
No,
Officially,
they didn't. So they didn't officially say either way that was Shuma Gorath or that Doctor Strange is fighting him in the next movie either. We don't know definitively either of those things. Both these things are theoretical.
Because I saw Mephisto, so I'm kind of glad that was him. Yeah, I need Mephisto.
you get Mephisto, but yeah, I agree with what Oda said too. It seemed like she from her perspective, she jumped into that light and then popped out the other side. There was no. I don't think she went into this another universe, battled against Shuma Gorath for years, and then was spit out. Afterwards. It pretty much she went in one part and then she came out. It was instantaneous. It was right away for her.
Okay.
It's not like the end of season 3 of Castlevania
Castlevania.
when he went into
Castlevania.
the rainbow.
Yes.
I don't even know what to call that place.
Right. Yeah. With that dude. Spoilers for Castlevania season 3.
That's still wild though, because Shuma Gorath is strong in AF in the comics. I'll be like, you telling me her by herself? Like Cap is not 1v1ing Shuma Gorath in the comics, like.
But she didn't beat him though.
She didn't, like I wouldn't call that a W. She just literally sacrificed herself to push him back enough to get the portal closed.
That's literally what she says.
I'm saying she shouldn't be strong enough to do that though. That's
Even
how
do
strong
that,
that dude is. Yeah, like she shouldn't be able to push a tentacle back.
Right.
Especially when she's wrapped up by like. Why didn't he just choke her out? Like you had her wrapped up in a tentacle and just choke her out, bro. I don't get that.
But
okay, that's too much logic though.
The thing is, she was so part of it. You saw that she was getting choked up and kind of pressed down, and then when Steve came in, it cut the tentacle off her. So he was trying that strategy at first, and then when she got their sword and her shield up, she was able to kind of keep that from happening a second time. I believe. I don't have the game tape to study right now, but I'm guessing that's more or less what it was.
We'll have the game tape in here one day.
yeah, one day, yes.
That's just me saying fuck Cap though. I'm a pessimist when it comes to him, so that's continue my bad. So.
You know what I mean? Like she was way powered up from like Cap in general. Like she was sending cars flying. Like her strength feats were crazy. Like
the thing is too is that she I think it was that brought it up. She was a soldier. She was a trained soldier for I'm not sure how many years before. She knew what she was doing. She was pretty much where Cap was by Infinity War or what have you, roughly. That's where she was basically, into that
instantly.
episode. Almost instantly, because she was a trained soldier. She knew what she was doing.
Plus, she's already strong as hell. Like,
yeah, she actually was strong for a human.
One thing though, like with the way that she throws that shield, there is no way that's not just how does it bounce off people? Like it gets stuck in concrete when you throw it there, but it bounces off a person. Like make it make sense. The physics don't really fit.
So we need to do a whole episode on that as far as the paradoxes of comic book logic and comic book abilities. Spider-Man, strong enough to hold up a bridge with his strength in his arms, yet can throw a full-fledged punch at someone's face and their head doesn't fly off. It's like, what? Cyclops can blast full strength to knock an entire giant Sentinel back. However, his neck doesn't snap every time he does it. So there are things that in comics just don't.
Next episode.
Yeah, we're coming back to this. We're coming back to this.
As soon as you throw that shield, all you need to hear is fatality.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So I've seen some Captain America versus the Hulk. What do y'all think? Who do you think would win between this Captain America versus She-Hulk?
She-Hulk.
I want that so badly. I want that.
Which She-Hulk though?
Actually,
it's a comic version we're talking about specifically, like a specific run.
Yes, my Jennifer.
So, I feel like what if? Well, sorry, not what if. I feel like Marvel's been a lot more true to the comics recently. So I would say the comic book version.
Oh,
so
it's her. It's her. I'm
You
sorry.
say-
Go ahead, Ethan.
I agree. I agree. You say She-Hulk would win. She-Hulk is
Yeah.
also very like clumsy. I mean, she's okay. She can fight, but she's not the most skilled. I feel like if Peggy had a little more time to train, like the way as much time as Steve had to train, and then got into a fight, like Steve got to the point where he was almost able to throw hands with like Thanos, kind of, not really, but if
No, he
you
did.
give-
I mean,
he was. So he had a
Yeah,
hammer in his
hammer.
hand, but
Yeah.
you know. So I feel like if you give Peggy time going up against She-Hulk, who doesn't really train that much and who's kind of clumsy and kind of, you know, more light-spirited and lighthearted as a character in general, I'd probably say Peggy or Captain Carter. What do they call her? Yeah, Captain Carter.
Captain Carter.
Yeah, Captain Carter. I say Captain Carter could possibly win.
If we go on straight hands, it's Jen. Like, I know it's probably like not the best comparison, but if you look at somebody like Wolverine fighting Hulk, he survives those battles because he's a healing factor that's like damn near instantaneous.
Right.
And like if Jen Walters is like she goes head like whenever Hulk's on a rampage, like, hey, come get your cousin because he's wilding, and she goes hand to hand with the Hulk. Cap ain't doing that. Cap is evading with the shield and like moving around, but he's not punching out the Hulk.
No, but Cap's stamina and fighting ability. Like you remember back in the day there was comic cards. Cap's stamina, Cap's fighting ability was always at max. It was like Punisher and Cap are the top ones, like 7, always like top ones. So it's if you in a straight up fight brawl, yeah, obviously Hulk lands a couple of solid blows. That's it. It's over. But Jennifer Walters isn't the same as the Bruce Banner Hulk. It's a different kind of thing. And Captain Carter's a different kind of Cap than Steve Rogers. This is so hypothetical, but I think it'd be fun as hell to watch.
every death battle ever is hypothetical.
Yes, this is true. This is true.
It's tough for her because they don't push her that much. Like she doesn't have like a World War Hulk arc where she's like super OD strong. Like she has she didn't have that super. At least to my knowledge, I haven't seen it yet, and I'm a Hulk fan. I haven't seen it with her yet.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you remember that line where in The Simpsons where when Milhouse and Bart are at the comic book store, and the comic book guy says there was a what if tale, it didn't really happen, and then Milhouse says these are comic books, none of this stuff really happened, and the comic book guy bans them from the store.
I remember that.
Sorry,
Don't ban me, please. Don't ban me.
I mean, don't apologize. That's right along with what we're talking about this show.
Yeah, that's the point of this episode. Right?
Captain Carter versus Captain America.
That's a fun fight.
That's
Given the
Captain Carter.
time,
She's got.
yeah,
Like,
she's.
if you take Peggy from that versus Cap in that time,
There's no contest.
Peggy whoops the ass.
There's no contest.
Yeah.
But also, even given because Cap trained for years afterwards, I'm sure Peggy did the same thing. I wonder, if both of them are still training avidly, she probably would continue to be above him.
I just look at it like a Zenkai boost, and if you already if you're both starting out, like if he's starting here,
Right.
or if she's starting here and he's starting here, even with that Zenkai
gap.
boost, they're both still a big gap.
Right.
That's how I see it too, actually. Yeah. So I would say she'd win. Yeah.
And getting back to the episode directly, how do y'all feel about the fact that they basically subbed her appearance into the current times with where Loki appeared, like in the Avengers 1? Like that scene where, How do y'all feel about that? Like, would you want to see more of that, or do you just like, okay, that's what I just want to go the exact same way the movies did?
I'm cool.
I wonder what else would be different.
I'm cool.
Because the thing is, things were all drastically altered because the Tesseract and everything else, right? So now, I don't even know if Loki shows up.
Right, exactly, because she took his entrance in, so
right,
that changes almost everything. Like
everything's changed. But you realize what happened, right? There's no Avengers. The Avengers come about because of Loki. Sure, they tried that original initiative with Iron Man and what's it called, Nick Fury briefly, but then he kind of tossed it out, and then he reenacted it once the city was under attack by Loki and whatnot. Now that doesn't happen, so now there's no Avengers, which means when other characters, other big bads do show up, the Avenger, like Thanos, will eventually still show up. There won't be an Avenger stop him next time around.
Yeah, I'm cool.
So you're going to get snapped away.
I like when I saw all the what if scenarios, this was like on a bottom of my list that I was excited for. Like I'm really ready for the Killmonger Iron Man one. I want to see what the fuck happens with that. Like
Sure.
this one is kind of, you can kind of guess what's going to happen because you have two very similar characters.
Sure.
But like the fact Killmonger saved Tony Stark, like what is about to happen? Is he about to get an Iron Man suit? Is like Tony about to like raid Wakanda with weapons? Or like I don't know what's about to happen. Like that's a real like what if to me.
That is a real what if. My theory is that it'll pretty much be a darker story. You got to remember, Killmonger seems pretty much still like Eric from he seems pretty much what he is. His hair is the exact same. He's still a person who is a guerrilla tactics expert. I imagine he's like, hey, you're the guy who makes all these weapons and mass destruction and everything else. I just saved your ass. You don't have a whole hero's arc that you had before.
Right.
Let's work together and do some more damage. Odds are he profits from that situation, gets rid of Tony Stark, and it's pretty much the story of how Killmonger becomes a mega beast, essentially.
Yeah,
so.
at this point, Tony's
that where like Tony, like you said, he never has his redemption arc because Tony was fine with selling weapons at first. He was like, whatever.
Yeah.
He was
Why you shit? Yeah, I'm rich.
I got money.
I'm rich.
So
I'm rich,
that might be a
bitch.
team of, and then he might go for world domination.
Yeah. It's that's the whole idea of what ifs. Yeah.
Put Killmonger in an Iron Man suit, bro.
Well, I saw the point of the What If saga or these episodes to make up for all of the stuff that's gone down, like Iron Man dying, Black Widow dying, everything with Loki at the end with variants. I feel like this is their chance to justify, get everything back on path. Black Panther, I feel like they're going to I hope that they figure out some way to make this tie into the next Black Panther movie to solve that big issue that everyone foresees with Black Panther 2.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. They got to figure something. I mean,
point is of the what if.
I'm gonna call this now. I'm gonna call it now. They bringing somebody back to life with what if, like somebody, a different version of somebody's coming back, whether it's Eric Killmonger or Gamora, somebody's coming back.
The thing about it is, though, is that aren't these supposed to be separate tales? Aren't these supposed to be like? Yeah, they're not connected to the actual MCU.
No, they're canon. This is connected. This is canon. They confirmed that.
But the canon is what if. So Peggy Carter clearly is a different universe, a different timeline.
Right.
In order for us to have Captain Carter, if they go to the multiverse of madness or whatnot, then essentially Doctor Strange could pull her from that timeline.
Right.
So these scenarios, these are other characters that could pull from other universes to make it happen. Essentially,
that's what I see happening in Doctor Strange or the Spider-Man movie. Like they're bringing somebody from the what if
universe. Yeah, that might happen.
What if the Watcher actually gets an active role?
That's not gonna. I would take this right now, Shimon.
I'm upset if that happened.
The Watcher is by far the single laziest being in all Marvel. He states it at the beginning. He's like, I am the Watcher. I will never do anything. I will never interfere or get off my ass. I refuse to be active. Give me my welfare. And he sits back there and eats his chicken wings.
So wait, is Brent Stark the Watcher?
If he does a little bit less, I do remember Bran moving around a bit. If he does a little bit less, he'll be the Watcher. Yeah,
I will say the funny thing about that, like in the comics, he says at least Uatu specifically, like I'm not going to do anything, but there's a million different issues and runs where he's like, "Hey, somebody's coming. You may want to chill out," or like, "Hey, Thanos, go fight this man." Like he intervenes so much to the point where I think in one of the issues, like the other Watchers kicked him the fuck out. They're like,
right.
Get the fuck out of here.
But it's a weird job. It's like your job is to watch. Do I chronicle it? No. Do I talk about it to somebody else? No. Do I help? Do I tell the people? No. What's the fucking point? Anybody can watch. This is nothing here. I'm not doing anything.
He's just apparently
he's just
the origin story of the Watchers was that they're just a race of people and they intervened with like a planet, and that planet got to the advance and like had like nuclear warfare and blew their planet up. So they're like, we can't intervene anymore. But you have all these issues where he intervenes. Most famous, I think, was like Original Sin, where like Nick Fury was like, "Yeah, you're seeing too much, dog. I gotta take care of that." So he, like,
I remember. Yeah, he actually became a Watcher.
Took it.
Yeah.
Well, no, they like so he killed the Watcher, took his eyes, and the other Watchers came and made him into like a servant of them. Right. And then they brought a Uatu back to life somehow with like his eye.
I remember how they brought him back.
It was like he lived in one of his eyes somehow. I don't understand how that works, but
yeah, because I know they're like super slick. But the thing is, we're getting crazy deep balls deep here. But it's just the idea. Overall, I did enjoy it. I do look forward to seeing more. I know that Shimon, you're right. I don't want the trailers to give so much away. And Charlie, you're wrong. Captain America's awesome. What else you got, Dev, for us? Otis?
Fuck him. That's all I got. I'll end on that.
Well, moving on from that, we're just getting into our general topic today is anthology series as a whole. You know, how you guys feel about them? Do you want more? Do you want less? What makes an anthology series? Kind of.
My bad. I'll talk. I've talked a lot this episode.
No, you good. You good.
I like them in the concept of it's a good way to introduce a bunch of new concepts. It's like a way to throw. It's kind of cheap, but it's a way to throw shit at the wall and see what sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Like you look at. I think wasn't He-Man like an anthology series? I thought, or then it comes something.
Was it?
I can't remember. I thought, even if not, it's a way where you can throw stuff at a wall, and if fans get attached to one story, all right, we're gonna take that, we're gonna expound upon it. Recently, I started watching the American Horror Story anthology series they put up, and I'm like, there are ones that are better than. There's one that's really trash because it's an influencer one. Then there's one that's a little bit better because it's another. They didn't went back to Murder House or whatever, but they literally can just go through a bunch of stories, and if fans like this one story, they can expound upon it and turn it into a whole new season of a show. It's just a good way to make money while also testing shit out and testing the waters out on certain stuff.
Right. Yeah, one common now that I've seen within anthology series is they're always darker stories. I've never seen a happier or this non-dystopian anthology series. Have any guys seen that?
That's a good point.
I feel like most anthology series are horror series, though.
That's a good point. I never thought about that. They're rarely so obviously Black Mirror is one of the more recent, more popular anthology series. Black Mirror, the whole idea of that is that it's the dark screen, the dark reflection of technology. Right. And some of those do have slightly more positive outcomes. Some of them definitely do, but a lot of them not so much.
Striking Vipers is one of the more positive going up. So very much so, and even that's I guess there is that not quite a happy ending. It's not exactly happy, but matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that marriage is doomed. But yeah. I don't even know. But Rain is crying. I hate to see Rain cry. Yeah, that's something. That's a good point. Yeah. Why are they always so dark? Nothing positive. I don't have anything against you. This is an observation that I made. Just going through all the ones that were around. It's none of these have happy endings. None of them. Not even Marvel's What If, which is a Disney show. She ended up getting ripped from her time period and put into another one.
Right. Yeah. And she ended it she seemed sad. She's even when she said, "Oh yeah, of course the war is over." She didn't seem happy about the war being over. She's yeah, the war is over. So
I think a big part of it is because writers can do crazier things, kill off certain characters and be oh, if you don't like that, oh, psych, we didn't really mean it.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's a perfect point. Yeah,
you look at what if Deadpool killed the Marvel universe, or Marvel Zombies or stuff like that, where heroes are getting murdered in the worst possible way, or Hulk's getting decapitated and shit like that. If fans don't like it, they can be "Ooh, that was bad. We should probably do any stories like that in the future." We were joking.
We're kidding around. We were kidding. Which also, by the way, speaking of which, that that's actually true. When Alan Moore wrote The Killing Joke, where Batgirl gets paralyzed. Spoiler alert. That was supposed to be a one-shot, one-off, borderline what-if story. And then DC's hey, let's make that canon. And Alan Moore's what the fuck are you talking about? I would have done that to her if I know you're going to make that permanent. So it's that's.
Then they ended up undoing it later.
They undo it. Yeah, but so it's something. There was a show.
Around her paralysis. Sometimes she's paralyzed. Sometimes she's Batgirl.
It's like, why? Sometimes she's standing in a wheelchair. It's like, what
Yeah.
happens?
The fucked up thing about that, she should have never stayed paralyzed for more than a day. The fact Bruce Wayne is a billionaire and has access to all kinds of technology, and you let your friend,
true.
you let your Batgirl be paralyzed. I'm like, well, you could
Like, doesn't
easily
he
like an
build
exoskeleton.
exoskeleton?
Yeah, build
Yeah,
a rig.
She should
That's
never
weird.
be paralyzed. There should be nobody in any of these universes that is paralyzed with all the technology they have.
No, that's true. I mean, that's what happened to Rhodey in the MCU. He's he's pretty much put in those. I think he's pretty much paralyzed. But
I mean,
Iron Man
he got
built in those legs.
folded. Like, did you see how he landed?
Yeah, he's done. That yeah.
I'm fucking landing like a Family Guy character, bro.
Like, his body was literally boomerang shaped. That's not right.
Yeah, it was it's a boomerang shape. Yeah, so they gave him that rig. So yeah, you're right, Dev. They probably, Batman should have built Batgirl some kind of a harness or rig or whatever.
It's like, fuck Batman, bro. I'm on Robin shit right now. Fuck Batman.
Oh, let's not do Titans.
let's there's so many we have to try to stay on this one topic.
I will say it got better. It got a little better. I know I ripped it last night, but it got a little better. A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But so speaking of which, how do you feel about Captain America? Do you feel Captain America's a pretty good character? He's got
Fuck him.
No, all right. I just had to check in. Okay.
What did Captain America do to you?
Civil War. That's all I'm gonna say. Civil War.
Or, boy. All right. One show I do want to bring up because it's fun is there was I can't remember the name of it. Maybe O or Shaman or Dev or Rain. Somebody can remember it. There was a Katsuhiro Otomo feature film anime that had a few. It was an anthology like movie. One of them was called like Stink Bomb, where the character. You haven't seen it, okay? But it was like a series of anthology. But it was one of the few times I saw an anthology feature film that was an anime. And it's by the guy who made Akira, and it was really cool to see that. But again, they were all dark tales, and it's like, damn, it's like Otis's theory is no longer a theory as much as it's a law.
It almost is a law.
It's a weird law because even if there's a show called Amazing Tales, or Amazing Stories that Steven Spielberg. So what now?
Memories.
Yeah, Memories. That's it. Yeah, Memories. That's it, Shimon. Memories. Memories was a movie. Yeah, Memories was that movie. But there was a Steven Spielberg show called Amazing Tales, I think it was, or Amazing Stories in the 80s, before any of y'all were alive. And that show, even on that show, it was Steven Spielberg in the 80s when kids were happy and dancing and dogs ran around on leashes. And still, most of those stories had a weird little twist at the end. They weren't just like, and everything's great. It's like everything is slightly off center. So I don't know why that's interesting. I never had thought about that until y'all brought it up. It's interesting.
I try to bring new things to the table sometimes.
Yeah.
I think it's the same reason perfectly same people love serial killers and like murder movies. Like everybody's cool, but in the back of your mind, you're a little bit of a sadist. Especially Otis. You don't like shit. You don't like shit. You don't like shit.
Especially Otis.
Wait. So media critical of television makes me close to being a serial killer.
That is literally what he said. He broke it down with fractions and math to prove it.
So Hannibal Lecter must have been like the biggest like anti-TV person on the planet, I guess. Like, he just hated fun. Like, is that what it is?
I mean, would you be surprised though? Would you be surprised if he like?
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I really wouldn't, especially Anthony Hopkins.
Hey,
He's got a wrapped up body behind that couch right now.
but in all fairness though, too, for Otis, in Otis's case, he doesn't seem like he seems like bothering to kill someone is just beneath him. So he's too critical of the person to bother to kill them. It's like, you're not worth my time. Get a little up your game, and then I will murder you. I don't know how we got this conversation. Really, this is a weird one for this. Again, this anthology is so dark. It got us talking about our best friend being a mass murderer casually. What is wrong with us? What is
Be
wrong
looking
with
at
us?
somebody, he'd be like, "You must kill yourself. I ain't doing this shit."
Out of my way. Out of my way.
All right, so this is taking us down a deeper rabbit hole because I have to ask. I have to ask.
Yeah.
Now you want to change the subject? You don't want nobody question
A little bit, a
about
little bit.
Yeah. Smart.
We're talking about serial killers here, you know.
Smart.
If you got a death note, would you use it?
Ooh.
Nah, that's a rabbit hole I want to go down.
Here, Shaman, you've been very, very quiet, and everyone got dark as soon as it's. It's like, would you use it? Shaman said, the lights, the horns is all right. Shaman, since you're by far the purest of us here, if anyone could actually extract Excalibur from a stone, it'd be you. What would you do if a death note fell right in your lap?
Ooh. I'd probably first off, if I were when you touch it, don't you start singing Shinigami at that point?
Immediately. Yeah.
Yeah. First off, I'd see what would happen if I were to write the Shinigami's name in it. But killing people? No. I don't think
That's interesting loophole. Did they address that at all? If you wrote the
he said
Shinigami?
if you try to write my name in the notebook, I'll kill you before you get it off.
Okay.
You said that in the first episode.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So Shaman would die. But what happened if Shaman got the death note? He would die. If it,
Yeah, Ryuk said, "Try your mama, not me." Also,
Jordan, stop it.
Cap,
Get some help.
Shaman Captain, that whole room.
that meme is still perfect, Jeff. Yeah.
That Shaman Captain, that whole room look like a Dexter murder room right now. So I know you got bodies in your room too.
Kind of does. That letter is
It
used
looks like the music in Kill Bill that.
Yes. It's always the quiet ones that seem nice. Yeah. So here's the thing. We get a little behind the scenes here. Originally, we're doing a debate coming up here to just a bit between Otis and I on what ifs, and the what if scenario was, what if someone else in the universe of Death Note got the book? And I was curious when he brought that up. Otis, what would you do with all that power?
I would have used it. I would have had to at least test it.
Yeah.
I can't say I go full light, like fuck that. But every so once in a while, somebody gonna mysteriously die from a heart attack.
Right. Unfortunately, that's kind of where I fall to. And I mean, Rain is right. Anybody can say they wouldn't use it, but that much power would corrupt anybody. 100%. 100%. I'm right there with I think too, it's like there's a lot of shit that happens in this world. And I am not God. I'm not gonna say I'm worthy of that title, but if you have the opportunity sometimes to end some suffering or do something right at your fingertips, I'd be right there with you.
I'm part of the people. I'm just like, who am I to take somebody else's life?
Fair.
I'm real big on treating people how I want to be treated. So I'm like, in that, I know it's a little extreme, but like to be like, to take somebody's life, like even if they committed murder, it's like, yeah, I can kill them. Like my whole view on like the death penalty is like, yeah, I can kill them, but as long as I'm not the one having to do it, I think that's most people in general. Like when if people had to kill their own food, there'll be a lot more.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yes,
be a lot more vegetarians.
Yeah, vegetarians. Yeah, that's true.
But we
That's
know
true.
Otis just don't kill off all the writers of the anime he hates. So
that'd be the first thing. Fairy Tail. There'd be no one to write on Fairy Tail.
That whole illustrators, the writers, the screenplay, like he's killing all of them. He's
all the CW, every last person at the CW. Yeah, it'd be like
that might be true.
Jeff Johns is gone tomorrow. Like he's done.
This is something. I'll put this up real quick. If anyone sees a Death Note fall anywhere near Rain, grab it. Don't let Rain use it on herself, even in an epic way. No, but
that's an awesome idea. Because what if you had you put in there that you're gonna die of a heart attack at age 200?
That's what I was about to say. Yes, you could do that. Could you?
I
Can
don't
you?
think
So,
you can. I think there's a rule against that.
there's a rule
No.
against using it on yourself.
I think there's only a certain parameter you can have, like between when you write it and when that person actually dies.
I think that is a rule. I think that is part of it. But I think even then, let's say ignoring the timestamp, can you use it to determine how you die
Yeah, you can't
Like,
use it to determine how you die.
on yourself? Okay, you can.
True.
Okay.
Even then, though, there's no guarantee you don't die before that. Because, like, yeah, you die at 200. What if you get hit by a truck the next day?
But isn't that like the whole idea of the? Is I thought it was absolute.
Yeah, it is absolute. Like if
So,
it's
yeah,
breaking, that's how it will happen.
That's how. Yeah, it'll find a way to course correct itself to make that
Like
happen.
you've seen,
So-
like like when they had the detective's wife, like she was literally walking one way. Time struck, she turned around,
he stopped. Yeah.
like
Oh,
it just
bro,
completely overrode her rule.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be walking in front of a
Yeah.
gun range. Then.
Yeah.
I'm just like hop a fence to the gun range and walk in front of bullets while they're firing and see what happens.
you're gonna test it. You're gonna jump off a building like fry. They fry and fall for it forever because you can't die from that.
Once I figured out I could control people before they die, oh man.
Yeah, this is a rabbit hole you put us into, man.
This
We
is
have
a rabbit hole,
it's about we got to get to the debate. We got to get to the debate, but that's a very 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 interesting what if right there. Well done. I like that.
I mean, it's a common one thing around our communities. I just wanted to throw it out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I would definitely use it. Like I watch myself.
No, I would. I mean, so Otis and I, we would. I guess we both have sadist hearts, and then Shimon be dead. But Charlie would be the last man standing. Apparently,
I'm burying it. I'm like, don't nobody need this shit.
no. And then Rain would use it on herself immediately.
Bro, South Georgia, bro, like one of the ski boys get here and
The
get
thing
that
is,
shit.
like, using yourself, like the next person
Guy.
who knows that next person gonna do it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I'm burying that thing.
yeah. That's having that thing is such a nuclear weapon. There's no way around it. That death notes are just
It's way too powerful.
the way they're OP. They're OP. Yeah.
I mean,
You got to rank OP weapons as far as in anime and everything else. Death Note's got to be the top because it's like all you do is literally write words in a book and that person's dead. Not a fight, no struggle. It's they're dead. Period.
Mhm.
I mean, there are some people like, in Bleach, there's a dude, if he touches you, you literally die. So
Sure, but he has to touch you,
true, that's a touch.
I'm
and
in
if you
there,
can dodge his attack and kill him or hurt him or something like that, then
yeah.
it's not absolute. The book is absolute. You write his name down. There's no way around it. It's gonna happen. Well, I guess there are rules. There are rules, but
Rogers. Decapitation with shield.
Like he should do everybody he hits with it. Everybody that get hit with that shield should get sliced every time.
no, we have to do an episode dedicated to that. An episode dedicated to the why Charlie hates Steve Rogers. Episode dedicated to why Shaman's room is haunted. There are so many episodes we got to do in here.
Can we talk about how Peggy was like literally slaughtering people though? Like she was killing.
Oh
people.
yeah, she
She did kill people. She did kill people.
I was
She
like,
was-
Jesus. I was like, is this a kid show? She over here like, I'm pretty sure she decapitated a dude one time with like a Mortal Kombat finisher. Like she was. Then she had a blicky on her too. She was like out there with like Otis out fresh out of Chicago out the womb out there. Just pow 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 pow. That smile.
Probably did.
Yeah, she definitely was just walking with the shield and the pistols. It's like it was good.
Yeah. And also, even the part where she hit that truck and threw it over her. You don't think the people that were inside that truck just walked away from that? They're all dead. They're all dead.
Didn't make it.
Did
Did not make it.
No. So
And the person that she threw the truck at, they didn't make it either.
no. Yeah, she did a lot. She did a lot. She actually threw trucks at people. She kicked a motorcycle into a building. There are a lot of fatalities.
She threw a motorcycle into another motorcycle while somebody was on
She threw a
it.
motorcycle. Yeah. The motorcycle.
Bruh, she ripped a pilot off the seat in midair and just threw that man. That man is
Yes.
dying on it.
Yeah, there are a lot of like pilots. He was baller as hell in the sky.
It's like,
He was amazing.
I'm like, woman, you are a demon. You are a demon.
Because the thing is, because she was so trained, so because Steve didn't do all that crazy, awesome stuff. Plus, Steve didn't have a Iron Man helping him in air. But I mean, she was so much more skilled at using the serum. She was able to do all kinds of insane stuff in a war scenario.
Right.
She was an assassin. She was
Basically, an assassin, super assassin.
And I mean, the Hydra Stopper was pretty solid too. You know, Cap's Iron Man suit.
I told E, I'm like, bro, if Tony Stark would have got a Tesseract suit. That's the closest thing to Superior Iron Man in the DC universe. Like, you're not stopping that.
Basically, is because it's same idea, same concept. It's a that Hydra Stomper. That was Hydra Stomper. That's great. Yeah, love it. All right. Oh, you ready to dance?
Oh yeah.
All right, bet. Get it.
Should we play?
Bell Energy.
See if we're still on the air. If we're still on the air. We'll find out.
Yeah. No news yet.
Yeah.
All right. And, in honor of What If, Marvel's What If, this week's debate will be what is the better what if scenario between, mine, if Naruto leaves the lead village instead of Sasuke, and E, I'll let you introduce yours.
Sure. In my scenarios, what if instead of Deku receiving or Izuku Midoriya receiving the one for all power from All Might, Lemillion did instead from My Hero Academia.
A little premature, Shimon. It's a little premature. It's the ghost I get it. It's fine.
All right. So do you want to dance first? Do you want to go first this time? Or I believe I went first
I feel
the
like
last time you and I danced.
Like you did.
Yeah, I think I did. So I think it's my turn to go first. Yeah. I mean, wait. Yeah, I think I went second for you. I can't remember.
Yeah, no, I volunteered to go first when we were debating about. What did we debate about this? It was in the Space Jam episode. We gotta keep track.
Yeah, I think you went. No, I think you went first. So I think I am supposed to go first this time. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. I'm supposed to go first this time. Yeah.
All right. I guess since Shimon prematurely stopped the clock, I'll start a timer myself for a minute.
Oh no, it's good to go.
Oh, we good? Okay. All right, bet. First
wait,
question.
I guess Shaman's going first. I mean, Lulu should go in first. Oh.
All right, I guess this. Okay, does it matter what order the questions are in? Because I don't remember which one's first on there.
I think they're in the order they're supposed to be in.
From top to bottom?
Yeah, top to bottom.
Yeah.
All right, first question then. Would this alternate version of the character surpass the originals?
So I think that it would. In the ways that it would surpass the original, the first thing that would happen is the action. I love Deku to pieces. I love the anime, I love the show, everything about it. But in a lot of ways, we don't see that much from Deku because Deku has no idea how to use the one for all. And Deku also is born without any actual innate abilities or quirks. So for him, he's like, it's a giant mystery. And that mystery, as he reveals parts of it back, peels parts of it back, is destroying his body. Literally. He gets bones broken more than Jackie Chan doing stunts. So if we had Lemillion in there doing this, we have incredible action sequences. We see how baller Lemillion is without the power of one for all. And we know that in the timeline, he would have gotten the power after he had been training with it in his second year of high school, essentially. That's when All Might would have gotten it to him. We have amazing, awesome, epic set pieces. Also, Lemillion, because he's already in a second year, already one of the big three without the power. With the power, he'd be a bigger and more positive impact on the school overall. He'd go from just simply being a great student to being actual icon, beacon of light to help people out. Also, here's the biggest thing: there'll be a lot less crying. I love me some Deku. I love Deku to pieces. But that boy cries his eyes out. Lemillion only cried once in the show, and that was after he basically lost his powers defending the young girl with the horn. And he wasn't crying over losing his powers; he was crying over for her. Deku cries over a ham sandwich. Again, I love my boy, but those crying is a bit much. That's how it would be superior by having this what if with Lemillion inheriting power.
Sheesh, 12 seconds of
That's
spare.
time on the clock too. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Hey, we it's a trend now. We leaving time on the clock.
So yeah, that's a trend.
Now, I think it's been a trend.
All right.
All right, let's get it.
Mr. Lelouch. Start the clock for me, Shamar.
All right, so if Naruto is the character that goes off with Orochimaru instead of Sasuke, like it's no question how much it would surpass the original. First of all, let's think about when Shippuden first started and Naruto and Sasuke met at the beginning in Orochimaru's lair. Sasuke was immensely stronger than Naruto. Like he dismantled Naruto Sakura Sai by himself in the same time span that Naruto been going training off with Jiraiya. And it's no question that Naruto's ceiling is absolutely like exponentially higher than what Sasuke's could ever be. So if you give Orochimaru that raw material to work with, there's no telling what he will make because Orochimaru's only weakness when it comes to his jutsu is the amount of chakra that he can put into it. Naruto is an endless supply of chakra. He can make chakra within himself, essentially. So I think the sky will be the limit with how much more powerful that Naruto would have been if you trained with Orochimaru than Jiraiya. I also have to throw that out there because Jiraiya's trash. I'm done.
Wow. So you don't throw no smoke at him about saying fuck Jiraiya, but I can say fuck Cap and it's a whole bit. Okay, whatever. Whatever. All right. Rebuttals now, right?
Mm-hmm.
All
right. First off, I was maintaining professionalism. I didn't want to cut him off while he was in the middle of a timed argument there, but addressing the actual topic at hand, I think the problem with having Naruto go off and train with a megalomaniac sociopath like Orochimaru is that he would in some way alter the trajectory of Naruto. Naruto is meant to be the light of the show. If you have the light corrupted that much, if you go down that path, I don't think that Sasuke can pick up the slack. I don't think that Sasuke can become a hero that can, help change the tide or lead Leaf Village. I don't think that Sasuke can, hook up with the blind, not blind, but the girl that has a purple hair and have those kids and make Boruto. The show Boruto. Show is weak, sure, but the anime or the manga actually is strong. So I don't think that's for the better.
Damn, that's crazy. That's what I was thinking too.
All right. Rebuttals. As epic as Lemillion would be with the One for All, I still think Deku with it surpasses him because there's no telling that if Lemillion will be able to access the other quirks within that, because there are 6-7 other people with All for One before Deku gets it. None of them even knew that the other quirks were even in there. Only reason why Deku learns about it is because he's always self-reflecting. Like that's who he is as a character. I don't think Lemillion is that person to unlock that power. Meaning he would never be as strong as what Deku ends up being by the end. I don't see. He may still be a number one hero or a top level hero, but I don't think he's the number one hero. That's not out there.
Interesting. Okay, then. I guess we're going to get into question number 2. And I think we're going back to Ethan, right? Just taking
Sure.
back. Gotcha.
Oh, are you gonna go? See if you can read it. No. Okay. So, how would the change affect their respective world? Since Charlie decided not to read it out loud.
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
The million would have been an Omega level hero that knows how to use his powers, basically from the start or close enough to the start. Now, what does this mean? Well, for one thing, All Might would essentially have a partner helping him defend the universe. There'd more or less be 2 symbols of peace out there at once, as opposed to All Might lifting a heavy load while he's trying to kind of mentor Deku. There'd be someone else out there that's already been trained, already been mentored, is already in a work program with his own mentor that he's pretty much able to just, as far as being an actual superhero in the field, kind of coaching him in that sense. Having 2 Omega level heroes at the same time would even drastically destroy any and all crime for the better. Here's the bigger thing too. All Might basically had to sacrifice himself in order to take down All for One. If he already had Lemillion there watching his back, or if Lemillion was out there taking down all the other villains and everything else, kind of clearing a path for All Might probably wouldn't have gone out like that. He'd probably still be out there functioning. The single greatest effect Lemillion having One for All would have is that All Might would still be able to be a hero, an active hero, instead of a husk of a man. I am not here to body shame. I am not. But we all know that All Might was happier when he was at his full self, as opposed to being that little scrawny guy in the oversized clothes. Time.
Cool. I was like, are we done? All right, cool.
I know he was done. I was just waiting for that to
Yeah.
move the screen to say it.
So Ethan likes to spin thick. All right, cool. Just as long as you know that.
So do you, Dev.
All right, Otis, how would the change affect their respective worlds?
Naruto getting trained by Orochimaru flips that entire series on his head. Like, first of all, there is no one that's gonna beat whatever Orochimaru makes Naruto into. Naruto. I said Naruto. Yeah. Like, who beats that? Honestly. Like, I feel like, because it's like you're giving the person that's unlocked more secrets within ninjutsu than anyone, an infinite battery. I can't talk to that. An infinite battery. An infinite battery. Like, I think that makes Naruto one of those dystopian shows where the villain wins because you can't stop that. Like, the only person that was capable of bringing back the Kage that would be able to stand up to him was Orochimaru. Like, the first Hokage would be needed to fight Naruto, the evil Naruto, period. Like, the only person that knew how to bring him back was Orochimaru and Kabuto, who was also working for the Orochimaru at the time. So, like, there is no scenario where that's defeated, which completely changes the series as a whole. Now, I think honestly, Naruto needed this flip on its head because then we don't get Boruto, like, and we all know that's a big thing. I'm just gonna leave that there.
Oh god, y'all just haters, bro. Like, man, Otis isn't like shit. Damn.
No. A real quick, Dev, before I forget, how do you feel about Captain America?
High quality,
Said
grade A, garbage.
Talking about Otis not liking shit, and you throwing all kinds of smack at
Oh, I like a lot of shit. I just don't like him.
Sure.
Or Cyclops. Fuck Cyclops too.
You see.
All right. Anyway, get into these rebuttals. Let's get into these rebuttals, man.
Okay. All right. So, getting into the rebuttals. First thing I just wanted to address real quick is that Otis was talking about how introspective Deku was, and because Deku was so introspective, he was able to access a lot of the abilities from previous bearers of the One for All. Lemillion has been introspective his entire life. He trained since he was like 4 or 5 years old how to use his ability so he wouldn't get stuck in walls or stuck in the floor or just make his life miserable, lose his clothes, all that kind of stuff. He's been very meditative and reflective forever. Deku's only been training for like 2 years max, so I don't think he would have been able to do that. Going back to Naruto, if he had been trained by Orochimaru, let's go with Otis's path, having all that abilities, all that kind of power, he become broken. How much do you like a broken character walking around, being the lead of your show? It works with One Punch because One Punch is also an idiot, and he also has other characters around him that balance it out. Not Naruto. By the way, Otis also hates kids because he hates Boruto. I love kids.
Editor list.
First of all, I'm wondering when I started hating kids. I don't know when that happened. All right.
I didn't say you hate kids. I said you hate Boruto, and that I love kids. If you want to connect dots.
Damn.
Uh-oh.
Timer.
Bugging out a little bit over here.
And you're off.
Oh, don't start the time yet. I'm sorry. I'm trying to fix my setup.
You good.
So apologize for this.
But Dev, I get extra time too for my rebuttals round 3.
No, you don't, because you like Cap. So fuck you.
Well, I don't like him. I love him.
I almost trying to get Cap, man. I think I'm back. You guys hear me clearly?
We can hear you.
Yes,
Still
sir.
gonna lose, but we can hear you.
We hear you.
We hear you. You haven't said anything worth saying yet, but we hear you.
Stop it.
Damn. No comment.
Love Cap.
Are we good to go?
So, I'm ready. I'm good to go.
All right. Mr. Sherman.
All right. So I really disagree with what he was saying because even if you put the all for one in a million, like he still essentially does the same things that Deku will do with it. Like he might not unlock, all the secrets of the all for one that Deku did, but like he's still gonna be a hero. He's still gonna go for the #1 spot. He's still gonna do all the things that Deku aspires to do. So is it really that different? Like, I mean, the only thing I guess you wouldn't have Bakugo yelling at him all the time. But like, I guess Bakugo yells anyway, so never mind. That was like he just hate him instead of Deku. Like, it doesn't really change the story that much. Just saying.
Fair enough. Okay, and I guess that's time.
That's time.
Okay, guys. Last question for the night. Let's get into it, man. Is this a better story than the original, Mr. King of the Comics?
So when you're dealing with any form of art, whether it be music, dance, paintings, or storytelling, it is highly subjective. It's hard to quantify what is quote unquote better than something else. However, the story would have been would have shined brighter in a way that is comparable to Smallville compared to the comics, the epic lore of Superman, or Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z. The idea of a hero being heroic in the world is oftentimes more compelling than watching a mortal struggle to be non-mortal. Sure, it can be relatable. I give you that. I give it to you, with both hands. But is it as dramatic? Does it carry the gravitas? Would you pay top dollar to go into a theater and watch someone break their hand trying to slap a piece of wood? Or would you be regaled when you walk into a coliseum and see an epic hero take down a Hydra? And that's the difference between Lemillion starting off with One for All and Deku starting off with One for All. Lemillion was designed to be a grand scale hero. He was designed to be Superman. He was designed to be the shining star. Deku was designed to rise up out of the mud and eventually carry a torch. So, in my opinion, I'd rather watch the star than the torch.
Interesting. Talk your shit, Mr. Ethan. Okay, then. It is up to you, Mr. Lelouch. Mr. Scrooge McDuck. Let's do it. Let's get it.
Scrooge McDuck.
Scrooge McDuck. How?
Going blows. What are they things? And Rain had to say this because this is important. I'm not sure what that means, but it's important.
All right. Changing Shippuden in general makes it automatically a better story because Shippuden was kind of not overall. I mean, it had some good fights in there, but like no one would say that we want you to build up Madara to be the biggest bad that we've seen in anime. Come in and have that epic entrance, like one of the most epic entrances of all time, just for him to be undermined. And now we got Space Aliens and Naruto. Like, who wanted that? Who wanted that? Anything to avoid that? Anything to avoid, the ass pull of the Izanagi, where suddenly Itachi has a genjutsu that alters Kabuto's mind. Like, where does that come from? Where is it alluded from? Like, it's I don't know. Bottom line, there's a lot of issues with that final war arc in Naruto, and a whole flip like this can only go up because who wants Boruto? I'm just gonna leave it there. I'll leave the time clock.
What's that?
Damn. Okay, let's get straight to this rebuttal then, because Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You don't like shit.
So what I would just say to Otis is that Madara's entrance is epic. Watching him throw hands and feet on every last ninja out there, spectaculous. But it would be all for nothing if there was absolutely no dramatic tension. Because if we knew he was uber powerful, Saitama level god tier, when we see Madara, we're like, maybe Madara will be able to do something against him. Maybe he'll be able to touch him. Maybe he'll be able to, oh, nope, he's gone. Oh, he's dead already. It's gone. It's over. And that would be the show as a whole. You can't start a show off with a character striving to become like Rocky. It's their hero's journey. Then they become a god. And now everyone they go up against is there's no challenge at all. It'd be a mess. You can't go there. You can't have that massive of a shift. And that's what Otis is claiming would make it for a better story. And I disagree. Saitama is Saitama, Naruto is Naruto.
Interesting. Mr. Lelouch, what are your thoughts for this last rebuttal, sir?
Yeah, just keep it simple. Yeah, one of the times up. To make a better story, you have to change elements. Like Mirio, he gives a slight different dynamic to the main character of My Hero, but like the story events happen the exact same way because they have nothing to do with the personality of the main character. Like Shigaraki is still Shigaraki, Overhaul is still Overhaul. All for One is going to still put the things in place that he does. Like nothing changes with it being a mantle pass from one character to another. So like, I guess this comes down to your opinion. Like, do you like Mirio better? But like, that doesn't make the series better. Just throwing that out there.
Damn.
Yes, by the way, that's true. That's true.
Oh yeah, it's definitely Attack on Boruto.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's from both. Yeah, we didn't. We were actually this whole debate was pretty much like, how can we find a way to just bash this show? What if we try to under the veil of what if? Yeah. So
That's crazy.
so now what we decided to, obviously we didn't get into this at the beginning of the show. We have a segment of the show known as Rain's Corner, aka Judge Rain comes in with her opinion as to who she thinks won the debate. And because Rain is absolute, whatever Rain says, we agree with. We let that be the official ruling.
Whoever
also-
bashed Boruto the most loses.
That's across the board for all debates, I think.
Okay, drum roll, please.
All right,
And
so
the final
let's see.
decision is
Let's see. Ah, yeah.
Ethan won. Naruto, who already contains the nine tail, then becoming an Omega level character, would leave holes everywhere or elsewhere. Sasuke's clan was still massacred, and brother is still out there. All I'm gonna say is both of these shows, if those scenarios happen, them shows are over really fast.
They wouldn't work for either one of them. These what ifs don't work. These are not Captain Carter scenarios. No, this is a very.
Like, I'm trying to imagine Lemillion like phasing through people on some what's the old girl's name, the X-Men?
Shadowcat, Kitty Pryde.
Shit.
Yeah.
The Shadowcat shit, and just like all might punching niggas through it. Like, are you gonna hit me? Bitch, bow! And it's just like phasing through people, smacking them hard as hell.
Yeah.
Like, just imagine, like, a Detroit smash that you can't block. Like, you put your
there's no
fist comes through full power.
A 1-inch punch, you just done, and you can't block it either because he put up a shield. He's phasing through the shield.
Yeah, he'd be.
Also, quick question. Yeah. Also, this question for you, Otis. Do you think that if Naruto trains with Orochimaru, that by the time that Obito tries to come and get him, that he's stronger than Obito at that point? Or he's stronger than any of the Akatsuki members?
Possibly. It's because, like, the only thing Naruto is missing is the technical aspects of ninjutsu, because he has the chakra to do anything. So if he gets that mastery that Orochimaru has,
Bruh,
that's scary.
If he learns more than 3 jutsu, it's a wrap.
Well,
he took down everybody with 3.
If he learns how to bring back his father, which Orochimaru already proved that he could do at the very beginning, so not only has he found his dad and can get the other part of the Nine-Tailed Fox's chakra, well, actually at that point it's done. It's wrap. It's that battery that was already OP is now double. That,
bruh, if Naruto could learn that I can't remember the name of the jutsu, but if he learned to bring people back to life, bruh,
he could bring everything back to life in one go, just like every dead ninja from,
and still have leftover chakra to give you hand.
Y'all are not wrong. None of y'all are wrong. None of y'all are wrong. But I agree with what you said when you said it's a wrap, because it is a wrap. I have to go and get some dinner on. But thank you so much to any and all for watching this. Thank you so much to Rain for being our amazing judge. Thank you so much to O for being our amazing MC. Thank you so much to Shaman for keeping that ladder there to ward off any ghosts. And thank you so much, Dev, for realizing that Captain America is, in fact, the best Avenger. He's a great guy. He loves you, too. They all love you.
Fuck him. To end the show, we will end the show with the word from our sponsor.
Man, that's some hullabaloo.